Yo. Hello. What's up, everybody? Sorry, just making sure everything was going well. It's been a hot minute since I've live streamed at all. I mean, is that at all surprising to anybody? Probably not. But yeah, what's up, everybody? Glad to see, or hope you're all doing well. I'm currently chilling. I'm taking a quick break from editing because I'm hungry. It's not a proper live stream unless the streamer is eating naturally. So I hope y'all don't mind. But yes, I will. If you see the thumbnail and title, I will be doing the thing. Because I feel like I feel like it's about time. Why not? I kind of need to keep my promise, I guess. Yeah, I don't think I need this. What's up, Kara X? Nice to meet you. Hope you're doing well. What's up, Nick? Hey, it's Nick too. What's up? Hope you're doing well. Is my mic audio quality loud enough compared to the background audio? I'm just making sure. Because I hate when it echoes on my desktop. I can check real quick, actually. Hold on a sec. Give me a quick minute. Yeah, I'm waiting for people to show up. Just real quick. Okay, alright. I was checking my live stream. Also making sure everything was doing good. Mugen Uchiha, nice to meet you. I love some of y'all usernames. Y'all have the most creative names. Me, it's just numbers. Like, oh, great. It's like trying to praise a 3-year-old. Like, hey, look at this drawing I made. It's like, oh, yeah, that's neat, I guess. Yeah, sure, whatever. Who's gonna be next on... So, yeah, actually, I wanted to give a quick update. I was gonna do a community post, but nah. At the moment... I did say it was around 70% done. In terms of editing, I want to say 50-ish% done. In terms of the overall process, I want to say around 85% done. Because I feel like the last bit of footage I need to do is not going to be that complex in terms of editing. After that, it's going to be... inserting sound effects and background music, and I think that's about it because I got the thumbnail set up. I mean, usually I also wait for the video to also process subtitles, the automatic subtitles. And then what was the other thing? Oh yeah, I forgot. I gotta write down my comments, my pinned comments, but beyond that, yeah, in terms of the actual procedure, yeah, I want to say 85%. It's getting there. I want to say it's going to be out eventually. Mugen, yeah. It's Mugen, obviously, of course. Sorry, I'm gonna be muting my mic quite a bit because of me eating. I don't want y'all to hear me chewing. That's nasty. You don't need to hear that. Do I have a Discord server? I do not. I'm too stupid and lazy to run my own server. And I'm gonna be honest, I was never good growing up with social platforms. I just could not care. Like, if I myself don't care what I'm doing, I feel like I shouldn't be bothering other people's, day, Whether it be Twitter, Facebook, freaking MySpace, TikTok, Twitch, like, it doesn't matter. If I'm like, hey guys, look, I got a coffee. Even I'm, like, in my own internal thoughts, I'm like, bro, Numbs, nobody cares. Shut up. Nobody cares. So, same with the Discord server. I feel I'm just going to be my own thing, so whatever. I know, I can get my own mods to run, but I got to find people, and nah. That's why in the community post, I promoted Lonk's server, because you can see me hanging out in there. But yeah. So, I do have a Discord. I just do not have a Discord server, so... maybe if in the future, if I'm big enough, sure, but at the moment, nah. I don't think it's really that worth it. But yeah, thanks Mugen for the support for my videos. Yeah, this upcoming video is not taking too long because of the actual effort or like research, or yeah, the process itself is not tedious. It's just that because of the holidays of the New Year's and stuff, and also me doing my own thing, it was hard for me to sit down and being able to do my procedure, especially the recording. I like to make sure I have quiet space, making sure it's all quiet and dandy. So, yeah. It says invite link invalid. Darn. It's possibly because the link itself got outdated. I gotta check that out and fix that. Because I didn't get permission from them. Yeah. Yeah. I had to get permission from Lonk themselves, so it's probably because the link itself got expired, which I understand. He doesn't want to have just any random person to show up, but that's fine. Shoot. Yeah, I understand there are people that want to hang out and just talk to me, but it's hard for me to be like, what's a specific server where I can just interact with anybody. Actually, well, I'll have to figure that out. That's fine. Yeah, I'll fix that another time. What's up, Boone? Grape the meats. Oh, so silly. 5 viewers, awesome. Great to have you guys here. Yeah, so I have asked this before as to whether I've asked myself this, and then I asked the chat before. But I will do today a tier list of movie villains, because I might consider doing a video of my own take of it, but to show appreciation to y'all, I'll do a live version and then the actual video, if I ever do one, will be a more updated, revised version of my overall thoughts on this matter. Because the boy Chuck already did his own take of the tier list of like the placements, and I think anyone who just wants a general idea as to what I would think I would place the characters at, that's basically the go-to video I would just tell people. But since people do want to hear my thoughts on the matter, then I have my own method, I guess. But I'm just gonna give some people a chance to show up, have people welcomed, and also give me a chance to eat. Yeah, it's been a hot minute. I haven't been... Well, I mean, I was trying to focus on the video itself, but I feel like today of all days would be the perfect chance to go back to streaming a bit, take a break, and being able to, once again, chill out with everybody. Thanks a lot, Nick. I appreciate the support. Yeah, because I try my best. Oh, right, yeah, I forgot schooling. Well, thankfully, this live stream will probably go on for quite a bit. So, I'm not sure how long, but I'll hopefully be able to make it last quite a bit. Yeah. Yeah, actually, did I? Oh, yeah, I did say, so the current video is about 85% done. I'm gonna push really hard today and tomorrow, as well as, I want to say because of Valentine's Day, specifically, that's the only hint you're gonna get from me, but I want to get it out exactly on Valentine's Day, at the very least on Valentine's Day. So if I can really push it hard on the editing procedure, you guys should be able to get the video. Wow, I can't English today. You guys should be able to see the video come out on the 14th, next Wednesday. So not this Wednesday, but next. So hopefully, I'm praying I can really get it through, complete it, and y'all see it come out. Heck yeah. The video after that, thankfully I got the research done. The research is basically done. I think there's gonna be one thing I wanted to double check real quick, but in terms of research, I'm pretty sure I got everything done. So I gotta do the script, which I feel like from some of the ideas and thought process I've been cooking up, I think it's gonna be shorter than the video that's about to come out this week, or this upcoming week. I'm not sure if that's true. I want to say it will be shorter. So it will definitely make the editing go more quicker. So that video, just because of the research being done, it's technically like already a third done, because my process, the first 33% is basically research, just non-stop research, getting the sources, getting any of the material I need, you know, footage, scans, etc. jotting down my notes. The other 33%, the 60 cent points would be me doing the script, doing revisions, and then scripting, and then recording. And then the last 33 is just the post-production, which is the editing. Doing the thumbnail, doing the, you know, all the other jazz on the YouTube description and stuff. So, yeah. So I want to say the video after that is definitely going to be 33% done. I got to do the scripts, which I don't think is going to be too bad of a process. I feel like the one I'm doing right now did take a bit of motivation for me to really figure out how I wanted to structure it, because I didn't like having to bounce around from one point to another without any cohesiveness. So I definitely feel like this one will not be that complicated. It will be a bit complicated to not be bouncing around, but I feel like I have a good idea as to how I'm going to structure it. So yeah. So hopefully it won't be that long. I hate the fact that you guys have to wait for like about 2 months just for a video. I really wish I can speedrun it, but it's so hard for me to have that mindset of just pure concentration and nothing else. But man, especially when it's hard for me to not feel burnt out, because I feel like there's a certain point where my brain feels a bit like bored or like repetitive. That's why, in fact, that's the reason why in the upcoming video I even completed the research, because for this one, the one that's 85% done, there was a point when I was scripting, I was like, man, I'm just not feeling it. I need to step back, take a break from this video project and work on another one, and that definitely helped out. That definitely bring back the inspiration and motivation. So that's why I'm really feeling like the next video, it will definitely go through pretty smoothly, and especially with no vacations, no holidays, none of that. I'll be able to pretty nicely work on it without any you know, personal issues going on. Any thoughts on the new Sparking Zero so far? Okay, so here's my thing. I have played a little bit of Tenkaichi 1. It was a long time ago. I'll be honest, it was kind of bad. I did not like the mission format, like the restricted gameplay mission format. But I only had like, what, maybe an hour of that Tenkaichi game, so whatever. Tenkaichi 2 was my all-time favorite. I do not care what anyone has to say. But Numbs, Tenkaichi 3, no, I don't care. I don't care. I never grew up with that. I had an opportunity to play Tenkaichi 3, but I just never got into it for some reason. I don't know why. Tenkaichi 2 was my favorite. Now, granted, I'm not saying it's perfect, but just something about the soundtrack, the gameplay, the character options, the missions. Now, I will say that grinding, like level grinding, was a bit tedious. I think that was my main issue with the procedure or the progress of the game. But everything else was just, oh my gosh. So Sparking Zero, I mean, I haven't been that exposed with any leaks. I do know some things about it, but I don't know, something about it just, I feel like I haven't seen anything that really blew my mind, if that makes sense. Like, that's just me, because I mean, obviously we're still like in the early phase of the game being promoted, but I don't know, I haven't felt like there was anything that sold me that I'm like, oh yeah, this is what we've been waiting for, you know. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm not sure if it's me, but I feel like the character amounts is a bit underwhelming. I feel like, especially with all of Super dropping, I feel like we would have gotten like twice, if not 3 times the amounts of what we could have gotten compared to Tenkaichi 3. But that's just probably me. But yeah, as Boone just said, I'm thinking GT will be DLC and Sparking Zero, and yeah. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, maybe at the moment, like the vanilla version will have the character, you know, that we have from Tenkaichi 3, but then past that will be DLC of GT, Super, doubtfully, but maybe Heroes. That would be the dream. That would be the cool dream, but But who knows? Maybe with enough demand, with enough maybe meme potential, that's possible. So it looks neat. I'm not sure. The graphics looks. Maybe it's trying to recreate that Tenkaichi 3 feel, but I'm kind of surprised that, or I don't know. Maybe I'm not exposed to the graphics enough, like of the new generation. But I feel like with the PlayStation 5 compared to PlayStation 3 era, was it for Tenkaichi 3? I feel like it would have been a noticeable jump in graphics, but I don't know. Maybe I haven't seen enough to really compare, like noticeably compare the difference, but that's just my current thoughts at the moment. So I'm not sure why, but in my brain, what I want to see specifically, or what I wish you can recreate more specifically, is Moro versus Omega Shenron. I don't know why. I know that it's a manga currently, so I don't know why they've been like walking around that situation, but I really want you to have the ability to play as Moro and fight Omega Shenron. I don't know why, but that clash for some reason is like the perfect like desire Dragon Ball fans can have, because that's kind of like, because I feel like that's kind of the point. Is like, it's been years since Tenkaichi 3. People have been asking for decades for Tenkaichi 4. So to see a character like Moro, the goat, a literal goat, who can eat everything, can literally compete against MUI versus the peak of GT, which is Omega Shenron. I feel like that is the beautiful level of fanfic quality material you can ask for to give to the fans. I doubt that's gonna happen, maybe as a DLC, but even with fighters, they haven't done that, so I'm kind of but that's just currently what I've been thinking. I will say though, there better be some what if scenarios. That's all I can ask for, because when it comes to me, y'all know how I am when it comes to DLC what if scenarios. Dragon Ball is weird when it comes to what if scenarios. Tenkaichi 3 had its funny what if scenarios, so I don't know. I feel like with Super included, you have to do some funny shenanigans for Tenkaichi 4 or Sparking Zero, whatever. But that's just me, of course. That's actually even why I made that joke about in my Janemba videos, like, oh, we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe Janemba won't get another L onto his track record. Like maybe Janemba versus Moro. What, that'll be cool. I don't know. That's just my thoughts, of course, but you know, of course, guys, who doesn't love fighting Raditz for the 4th millionth time? Who doesn't love fighting Raditz again? I love to see the boy Raditz again. Mm-hmm. Imagine we get... oh, heck no. Get that garbage out of here. I ain't gonna hide my animosity towards Daima or... I forgot, it's YouTube. What I call manure hero. You know, Blanco loser nerd. Blanco nerd is what I call him. I'm not a huge fan of superhero or Daima at the moment. Nothing has really... bro, I don't know if it's me. Maybe I'm like, I have a huge animosity to superhero, but man, I did not like that film at all, bro. Everyone keeps saying, oh, but that moment with with Pan and Piccolo, I'm like, okay. Why, like, I'm sorry, but I'd much rather you give me a 5-minute OVA of just Piccolo hanging out with Pan, or just training with Pan, and that's it. You can remove the 99% of the film, and I would have been happy with that. But no, we had to get superhero. What's up, for you? Don't mind me, I'm eating my M&Ms. Daima, at the moment, like, there's too many ways for me to explain my disinterest with Daima. Okay, so okay, in terms of animation, it's neat. It's whatever. It's cool. But here's the thing. I hate people using the argument of, oh, but the animation looks cool, so it must be great. It's like, no. Have you not... dude, that is not how justifying the writing quality of any product. It may look cool, but that doesn't mean it is cool. Alright? Like, that's why people have mixed opinions with Demon Slayer, because everyone says, oh yeah, the animation is cool, but then once you ask them, okay, well, what about the story, they're like, it's alright, or it's good. Yeah, it's like, once you like separate them, that's when people like, oh, okay, well, maybe it's not that great. So in terms of animation, I'm okay with it, whatever. The synopsis, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan. Okay, potential-wise, I don't mind Shin being relevant, because let's be real here. Shin is useless since forever. Like, he showed up, he tried to be like that goddess, like, oh, you mortals, I might need your help. I'm still superior to you, but then once, you know, the Saiyans showed off, they're like, oh, shoot, okay, no. I messed with the wrong members of mortals. So, him actually getting any sort of relevance is kind of neat, so I'm actually okay with that. But so, hold on. Beyond that, I'm still confused. Why do the cast need to be kids? Why do they need to be kids? That's what I want to know. Maybe as the story unfolds, it might explain or justify the need to make them kids. But in terms of, like, I don't know. The premise itself is just not, I'm not feeling it. Them needing to become kids, again, is just weird. I don't get it. Like, why? Like, here's the thing. Like, literally, picture everything. You've been waiting for Dragon Ball Z to come back since ages. And then, let's say in an alternate reality, Battle of Gods didn't happen, or has yet to actually come out. And then finally, once Toriyama says, hey guys, Dragon Ball is coming back, you're like, oh shoot, what? It's coming back for real? You know, post GT, post Ultimate Tenkaichi games, all of that. And the product you guys get is Dragon Ball Daima. Would you guys not feel some sort of confusion? You're like, wait a minute. So you're telling me after the end of Z, we're talking about Frieza, we're talking about Cell, we're talking about Majin Buu, Omega Shenron, we're talking about these big bad baddies, awesome moments, Fusion Dance, Batara Fusion, Gotenks, Mystic Gohan, Super Saiyan 3 Scream, Vegeta respecting Goku, the Universal Spirit Bomb, Super Saiyan 4. We're talking about awesome moments. And then they drop this trailer of Dragon Ball Looney Tunes kids. Like, nah. You people will be raged. There'll be hell to pay. Like, let's just be real here, all right? People will go crazy as to how stupid of a jump that will be. You know what I'm saying? So, hold on. So the other thing I have problems with is the lack of proper continuation or the connectivity. I think most people can agree that Super's lack of connectivity or consequences is really lacking. Because like with Z era, we found out, oh, Goku's a Saiyan. He defeats Raditz, but because of, them blabbering, the Saints arrive, they defeat them. Because of the deaths of their friends, and because of Piccolo's origins, they go to Namek. They fight Frieza, they win, and then they come back. But because of previous events, which is the Red Ribbon Army, the androids arrive. Because of the death of Goku and Cell, blah blah blah, at least the introduction of the Buu Saga. And granted, the Great Saiyaman is not like, it was pretty slow, slice of life, which I don't mind it. I actually like it, but I can understand that maybe the impact wasn't that, impactful. But, especially with leading to Majin Buu, he just showed up. But to be fair, it was because of their actions and power and growth and defeating Cell led to Shin recognizing and recruiting them to fight Buu. But then once you jump into the Super era, it's like, okay, you fight a cat. Past this, like, if you erase that entire event, Frieza would have been revived somehow, one way or another. They would have probably died, but nonetheless, the impact of them fighting Beerus didn't really influence Frieza returning, I guess. Maybe it influenced him training, but he dies. And then after that, Universe 6 Champa just shows up out of nowhere. He just showed up like usual. He wasn't like, ooh, Frieza, who's this guy? Like, no, he just showed up because he had beef with Beerus. After that, Goku Black shows up. Again, no real connection after the tournaments. And then after that, the tournament happens. Again, no real connection. Gowasu did bring up his past student, but, there wasn't really much connectivity with that. And then Super Broly happens. Again, no much continuation other than just acknowledging it happened. And then finally Moro arc did something, which was, his defeat leading to the Adventure Granola arc. But then again, the superhero arc didn't really have much connectivity to Granola arc or Moro. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I hate the fact that this is the 10-year time skip. You can finally explain what happened from this Buu era to meeting Oob. And then it's like, oh yeah, baby Dragon Ball kids. It's like, what? Like, this is what we've been waiting for. Kids Dragon Ball. And here's another thing. The argument of, oh well, it's for kids. It's like, yeah, but you telling me moments when Frieza pulled Nail's arm off, Cell sucking a human being, Buu eradicating the human race, Omega Shenron literally, like, parasiting everybody. You're telling me all those kid moments were actually for the kids? It's like, eh. And here's another thing that was correlating to that point, is that there's already a kid product for Dragon Ball. It's called Dragon Ball SD. It was literally made to kidify the writing, I guess, tone of original Dragon Ball for kids. So why do I need a new series with a new story that is still nerfed down for the sake of kids, when I can just give my kids or my siblings or whoever Dragon Ball SD? If for some reason they can watch the original or read the original contents of Dragon Ball, then I'll just give them the Dragon Ball SD version. It's comedic. It's very nice. It's still pretty true to the heart of Dragon Ball. But no, we still had to get Daima. That's why I'm just like, this is kind of stupid. Pointless, honestly. And then it isn't a kid show. I mean, yeah, neither was Super or Z or GT or even Heroes to an extent. And yet it's still being marketed like that. It's like, come on, really? And yeah, as people said, we wanted more. Like, let's be real here. Like, you know what? If y'all are hyping up about Tenkaichi 4, remember when Ultimate Tenkaichi came out? People were disappointed that this was what they got. It was the rock paper scissors game. Now that's not my opinion, but like, let's be real here. The actual genuine general audience reaction and fan reaction was that the game was poorly mid. Like, it was whatever. Who cares? Imagine if they did that for Sparking Zero. Y'all will be having a different opinions right now. Like, imagine they've been hyping the heck out of Sparking Zero, and it turns out it was like a trading's card game. Like some Yu-Gi-Oh! Ripoff. Like, oh yeah, it's not actually Tenkaichi 4. It's actually a turn-based card game with Dragon Ball characters. Y'all will not be happy at all. Y'all be like, really? Y'all were trying to promote this as if it was Tenkaichi 4, but it was just a card game? So likewise, it's like, yeah, we want the actual content, which is Moro, and instead we got something else that nobody asked for. Nobody asked for this. You can't even say it's like, oh, it's GT. It's like, no, you can't even compare it to GT. It's its own thing too. So it's even more disrespectful to try to assume that Daima is like GT 2.0. So then it's like, nobody wins. GT fans don't get what they want. Z fans don't get what they want. Super, I guess, maybe. Actually, no, not really, because with the Moro and Granola arc, so. Yeah, nobody wins. Nobody gets what they wanted. They get something that nobody asked for. And it's not even, like, presented in a well, like, thought out or well, like, okay, like, very intriguing, like, okay, this is gonna be good type of thing. Like, no. It was just like, okay, we have to suffer through this and wait for the actual content we're waiting for, so. Yeah, nah. There's not much reason for me to really be hyped for Daima. There's just nothing in terms of the premise, in terms of the concept, in terms of the animation. There's literally nothing from Daima that's making me hyped up at all. Like, there's literally nothing. That's why I'm just like, there's literally, I'm more invested with Heroes progression than I am with Daima. And Heroes unironically has more better continuation with its arcs than Super. So that's kind of sad when a intentionally made promoted anime for a arcade has better continuation and like cause and effect of its character and growth than the actual official main Toriyama confirmed stamp of approval content. It's like, ugh, like seriously, it's really sad, really. Also, I'm not gonna be. I'm not sure who even are the villains, but my current theory, or I'm not sure what the fan base's thoughts, but I'm assuming the new villains are like the Daikaioshins, the Demon Supreme Kais, or whatever. But from the design I've seen, or like the glimpses of what we saw, I'm not that hyped at all. Like, the Demon Realm has barely been touched. Like, the closest it's ever been touched is in Hero specifically. And yeah, it is canon to the franchise, but in terms of the Toriyama confirmed story, it's currently not. So, when you have so much potential regarding demons, like we're talking about JTK type of potential, Demon Slayer, you know, we're talking about countless examples of demon-based awesomeness from Japan media. And Toriyama's like design thought process or some of that extent, I'm just like, Especially, and here's another thing, it's like, guys, how many gods have been introduced in just Super alone, and barely any of them have been giving any sense of development or any sense of what's the word? Not I don't want to say evaluation, but development or like interactions, because it's mostly Beerus talking to Goku, Whis interacting with Vegeta and Goku. Like, we don't see the other gods interacting with the mortal realms. We barely see them. We see glimpses of it, but we don't actually get to see that happen. We just assume that things are happening in the background. And that's kind of sad. It's like, why is what is happening in the background seemingly more interesting than the actual plot? So why the heck is Toriyama gonna now introduce more gods that are probably gonna be just as developed as Zamasu? And I'm gonna be honest, Zamasu's mid. If you completely disregard Goku Black and just focus on Zamasu, his character was freaking boring. Like, we get it. We get where he was coming from with his, you know, ideas and beliefs and stuff, but past that point, it's just like we just can't. Like, if you want a better example of like a supreme tyranny, like look at Yuha Baha, or look at Madara, or look at Aizen. Like, actual characters that are like god in nature or like godlike in terms of presence. But then Zamasu comes in and nobody takes him seriously. Nobody's like, oh shoot, how's the cast gonna beat him? They're just like, oh, okay, Zamasu's here, I guess that's neat. Nobody feels that presence. When Goku Black shows up, they're like, oh shoot, the Go, he's gonna wreck everybody. Oh my gosh, how are they gonna win? But Zamasu, they're like, oh yeah, he's here, whatever. So if the villains are like demon god Supreme Kais or whatever related gods, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. How come Moro, who's not even a god, gave me more like suspension and more like interest in the plot than the freaking gods? Like, it's like, I'm telling you, there's literally nothing I can think of coming from Daima or current Super that I'm just like that invested to be really hyped up. It's like, nah, not interested. Oh, what's up, Mr. Anonymous? Also, likewise, nice to meet you, Carrot. What's up, Tortoise? Sorry for not saying hi to everybody. My bad, my bad. I was too focused on the Daima roast. My bad. Yeah. Too much on the guy. Yeah, because that's why I kind of like very quickly, or like for a quick minute, like dissing on the gods and my BoJack video, because it's true. Because on paper, they sound cool. They look cool. You would think they are cool, but you don't get that. Like, bro, we're talking about BoJack, who can rival, potentially, the likes of Perfect Cell, who literally made everyone on Earth, including the strongest fighters, wet their pants like gas. And you telling me these gods can somehow seal away BoJack, who took the likes of Super Saiyan 2 Gohan to beat, yet King Kai is the same guy who was like, oh shoot, the Saiyans? Oh, I can't beat them, Goku, but I can train you. Oh shoot, Frieza? Oh heck no. Goku, run away. Get the heck out of there. Nah. I refuse to let you fight him. Or Shin. Now with Majin Buu I can understand to an extent, but you're talking about Shin, who he was scared of the likes of Deborah. He's like, oh shoot, you guys gotta be careful. Y'all gotta jump him. You gotta fight him together. He's pretty impressive of a fighter. And likewise, these gods can literally stop Moro. But then these stupid gods get slapped away by Zamasu and Goku Black through technicality and rules. And then likewise, these gods of destruction, they are just doing nothing but just chilling. It's like, are you kidding me? Where's the awesomeness? Why is Chronoa and Ios from Heroes looking more awesome in terms of overall like feats and ability and presentation than these other gods? Like what? That's why it's kind of, yeah, Toriyama does hold them back, because I get it, you're not really supposed to rely on them, or you're not supposed to think that only they can solve every problem, but even then you can still make them be reliable, relevance, prominence, you know, awesome to cheer for, or even awesome to hate on, you know. But no, it's just, they're just boring. Nobody cares. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There just hasn't been anything where I'm just like, oh yeah, this is gonna be it. This is gonna be peak Dragon Ball content. Is like, nah, nobody's thinking that. The fact that the majority of the responses, oh well, let's hope, let's wait and see, kind of tells you that, yeah, people are not that at all excited it's gonna be good. They're just hoping it's good enough, or it's entertainable. Like when Super Broly came out, oh man, people were going crazy. People were like, oh shoot, he's canon? What? Gogeta up here? Oh heck no, this is gonna be peak Dragon Ball, you know what I'm saying? Everyone was hyping for that movie. But when Daima, everyone's like, oh, alright. So yeah, from the, like I said, writing wise, concept wise, premise wise, character wise, story wise, animation, like not a single aspect of this, of Daima, I'm just looking forward to. There's literally nothing. The only thing that I'm looking forward to is when it's over. All right, that's my only optimism, is that when it's over, finally. That's the same way I felt with superhero. I'm like, finally, we're done with superhero content. We can move away from this garbage content. Ugh. That's actually, honestly, I really wish I didn't have to like be very critical of Super. And it's not to say I'm only doing it to Super specifically. I'm also the same to Z and GT. I'm not saying Dragon Ball itself is perfect, but I hate the fact that, because even when I try to do it on the perspective of like, well, it's Toriyama's style, you know, it's his way of writing stories or stuff. Even I feel like there are ways you can still apply Toriyama's style in terms of, you know, designs, you know, world progression or like world building, you know, those types of things. I feel like there's a way to, you can still include Toriyama's style without having to ruin the quality of the writing, the characterization, the world building, the forms, the themes. And yet we still get these types of content. That's why I'm always just like, ugh. It's that's why it's always sad that I feel more excited, more like the suspension of heroes than I do. Cause like, bro, as an example, Cumber shows up and we were like, oh, the boy Vegeta will beat him. Nah, he didn't beat, but he survived both Vegetas. We're like, how the frick are the heroes gonna win? And then, you know, MUI shows up. Likewise with Hearts. He becomes Omega Shenron Madara Sage of Six Paths Hearts. And we're like, oh shoot, not even Jiren can stand up to him. Not even Goku can stand up to him. And then they fuse him to Gogeta. It's like, alright, this is hype. After that was this Universe C, the new universe. Goku Black shows up again. We're like, oh shoot, how the frick is Goku gonna beat him? Who the frick is gonna beat him? And it took their training, their MUI, and a stronger Gogeta to even handle Rose 3 Black. Even in the newest one that ended with Demigra, they're like, oh shoot, he has the power of the Dark King? What? How the frick are they gonna win, bro? And once again, we're like, oh shoot, we have MUI Goku, we had Bara going Super Saiyan 4, we had future Gohan, the Chad himself, go Super Saiyan 2 with one hand, and a whole family Kamehameha just to beat this one guy. That is more like suspenseful, that is more awesome, that is more better quality fan service than the actual official storyline of fan service. And even now, with the new arc with Majin Zoro, he can literally morph into the characters he absorbed and make copies. So we're like, oh shoot, Goku is literally using MUI off the bat, and he's still like, oh dang, I don't know how we can beat him. How are we gonna beat him? Even the Zenos, Goku and Vegeta show, they're like, alright, we gotta handle him. But they still can't beat them on their own. So it's like, yeah, how is it that these villains can somehow show up with little build-up, little background given to them, yet show more suspense than the actual storyline? Like, come on, man. That's why I'm just like, ugh, with current Super, bro. I'm just, oh my gosh. That's why I feel frustrated more than anything. Like, Gas? Do any of y'all really love the boy Gas? Because some of y'all, I know you'll be saying it in a troll manner, or some of y'all are just lying through your teeth because you're coping. Like, I'm just being honest. Like, none of y'all were hyping up the boy Gas. He was an intentional L magnet. People had more interest in Granola than Gas. Let's be real here. Even the main, I forgot his name, the main group leader of Heaters, even he was more respected than Gas. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not interested. When the first episode of Daima comes out, I'm not gonna watch it. I'm watching it when it's done. I'm gonna spoil myself over time, but I'm not gonna read through the actual context. I'm just gonna skim through everything and just get the basic gist of what's been happening. But otherwise, yeah, nah. I'm just skipping. I'm skipping Daima. I'm gonna finish eating real quick, and then I'm going to start the tier list that I promised y'all. Sorry, a whole hour of me roasting on Daima. I should change the title from Numbers versus Dragon Ball Daima. I think that's also why I love doing my specific topics of videos, because they're not things that people often evaluate like in full detail. Is because, I mean, I get it, the main story is the main story. It's obviously going to be the more focused content, but I try to look at every tiny things that was included in the supplementary products, because the fact that even the product that is given less effort, or not effort, but less focus compared to, you know, the main story like the anime, and still have a lot of potential, a lot of opportunities, a lot of possible what if scenarios that could have happened. And then when Toriyama does his own spin on these things and it's kind of lackluster, that's where I'm like, ugh, come on. Like, I know it could be better, but come on, man. That's why I'm just always get that frustration. Because I'll be honest, I had a lot of interest deep diving into Android 13, because the original dub was kind of boring. But the fact that it took American dub version to make him interesting, or like, especially Legends Android 13 is my favorite portrayal of his character. It wasn't like, oh, like groundbreaking, but it was honestly pretty good, unironically, for his character, given that he was given very little material beforehand to begin with. Bojack was about the same. Turles was actually, honestly, Turles is one of my top favorites. He wasn't at first, and I get it. He is, unfortunately, design-wise, a Goku lookalike, but from an actual characterization, he's actually pretty good. I really like what could have been, especially if he was given more of the frontline portrayals. I'm trying to think of a good example. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Daima. My thoughts on Daima, my thoughts on current Super, Sparking Zero. I'm actually sorry. I will say I hope they do recreate all the movies for Sparking Zero. That would be interesting to see, like, current era recreation of Dead Zone and stuff. That would be pretty interesting to see. I'm almost done eating. Sorry, guys. Like I said, I promise I will do the tier list. So just give me a minute. What's up, talking? Hope you're doing well. I always forgot that Orange Piccolo's a thing. That would be freaking funny. Like, imagine in Sparking Zero, you can just literally one punch Omega Shenron, or like able to like Orange Piccolo one punch Moro in the game. That'd be hilarious, bro. I'm actually curious. What is there any other upcoming like Dragon Ball content or projects in the works? Like, I know we have Daima. We have Heroes as usual. I think Xenoverse is still going on. Fighters, I guess, sorta. The manga's still going. We were initially talking about my thoughts on Daima. I'm not really feeling it at all. My thoughts on Current Super. I was also kind of disappointed in a way. My thoughts on Sparking Zero. And then I briefly talked about my current update on my video projects. And in a moment, I will be doing the tier list, as I promised. Alrighty. That was a good lunch. Alright. I think y'all waited long enough. Time to actually do the stupid tier list. First, let me actually get some good background or good theme for the tier list. Oh yeah, you know what? Yeah. Hold on. I think I know what I gotta. Okay. All right. Power tier list or character tier list? Power. Because I had promised I was going to do it. Hold on, let me put the theme. Hold on, just give it a minute. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh, the nostalgia. Oh, my gosh. Yes. Oh, heck yeah. Oh, I can feel the power now, bro. Oh, my gosh. All right. Alright, hold on. Let me make sure it's popping. No, that's not it. What? Oh, there it is. Alright. There you go. I'm wondering why it didn't pop up first time. Okay. So, people have been asking me my thoughts on where do I rank the actual strongest characters, like in order. As I said, I might consider doing an actual video of this topic. Again, I still suggest just you watching Chuck's video. I think he does it pretty well. I do have my own opinions on the matter, but in general, the overall placement is basically where I would put most of the characters at. So here, I'm going to do it two ways. The first is feats only. Basically, at the bare minimum interpretation. Like disregarding lore, author, like overhyped statements, none of that nonsense. None of that headcanon Zenshu. None of that fan service material. Just raw film only. And then the second tier list is going to be everything allowed. Lore, statements, guidebooks, feats, games, blah, blah, blah. Well, not games, but you get what I mean. And this is just for movies only, not heroes or whatever. This tier list included the super characters, so I guess conveniently it had them. I'm not sure if I will have my thoughts on the super villains, but yeah, if I feel like it. I'm mostly focusing on the original Toei villains, because to this day, bro, to this day, I'm still getting people, a bunch of contrarians who really did not like my thoughts on me saying Hirudegarn isn't canon GT. Garlic Jr. is not 4D because of Dead Zone. A bunch of stupid, you know, arguments or a bunch of opinions that doesn't impact my own thoughts. So, I have no bias towards a specific character. I like and hate some of them. But in terms of power, I don't really care. If one of them is stronger than the other, it's stronger than the other. So, yeah. So if you all want to debate here live right now, as I'm making the list, maybe you guys have your own thoughts about why I put them low or high or in the middle. I'll explain my thoughts. You guys can have your responses and then we'll go from there. But yeah. So the first one is going to be lowballed. No exaggerated outlier scaling, none of that. Alright. So, to further, once again, clarify what I mean about lowball scaling. People in their mama's life swear that the movies are canon to the anime. And to further define canon, they mean whatever happened in the anime must have happened in the movie verse as well. So any feats that happen in the anime also happen in the movies. Even though everything says otherwise. Koyama says no, the movies on their own realities. Toriyama himself says they're in their own realities. The guidebooks keep saying that they're their own realities. Now there are two exceptions to this, but I'll go into that later. But nonetheless, even the video games acknowledge there's a multiverse for Dragon Ball with different scaling, alright? Heroes is not the same scaling as Super. Super is not the same scaling as GT. Even the old Dragon Ball movies, I'm talking like Path to Power type of films, they themselves are also in their own universe because we literally see different like arcs completely rewritten. Like for the Red Ribbon Army is nothing like the original manga. There was the one before that, I forgot what it's called, Mystical Adventure I believe it's called, where there was a tournament. Chiaotzu was an emperor, and y'all say, "Oh well, the anime must have had." Like, no. This lowball tier list is solely the movie itself. No anime reliance, no statements from the anime, no scaling from the anime, just the movie itself with maybe the guidebooks. But otherwise, no, just pure lowballed minimum interpretation. Okay. All right, let me start. Let me start it now. So starting out, first of all, just make sure y'all can see my... it doesn't matter. Alright. So let's just start simple. The first movie is Garlic Jr. He's not actually D tier. I'm just put him there for time being. So yeah, he's the first villain. No duh. Nobody compared to. This does not include the filler arc in the anime because, like I said, no anime, just Dead Zone only. The only thing he did was he surprise attacked Piccolo with his goons. He granted immortality, or got immortality. He defeats Kami, who's kind of feetless. Like, he hits him via a barrier. He punches Garlic Jr. Garlic Jr. punches Kami through a pillar. So I guess he's pillar level. He beats up Goku and Piccolo, who we don't know how strong they are, because, again, movie only. And then he creates a dead zone. Now, for the sake of simplicity, we're not using the 4D scaling argument, because this is downplayed. I will say, though, if it is a black hole, or works like a black hole, which I have said in my videos, I didn't really want to go in detail, but even if I recall from my real-life science, but even if the mass of Earth turned into a black hole, it would be the equivalent of a marble in terms of size. So if the dead zone was like bigger than that, it can literally fit the whole of it can fit the entire size of Garlic Jr.'s body. So that's kind of impressive even from that contextual standpoint. Otherwise, there's not much to go for Garlic Jr. other than that one feat, and I guess destroying his castle, which is like pillars and walls. So I guess he's only wall level. I know it's pretty bad, you know, lowball, but yeah. Yeah, and also super space, hyperspace can literally just be a derivative description of another reality, you know? Like hammer space is like hammer space is not like some infinite outerversal reality. No, it's just another pocket dimension, basically, that just so happens to fit whatever the cartoon characters have. So it can be similar to that kind of logic with the dead zone. It's just a void that is not part of the real living universe. All right. Passing that, Dr. Wheel, pretty obvious in terms of the movie. It was confirmed by Dr. Wheelo himself, and even by feats, that Wheelo destroyed a woodland area, which, from my personal calcs that I've done, because I haven't found any calcs for that feat, but even at the bare minimum, it has to be roughly city block level. Actually, no, I think my lowest was like large building plus. But like the mid-ball scaling for that woodland destruction was like multi-city block, because he couldn't even vaporize the buildings, like the stone buildings. But Koshin then further elaborate that if he wanted to, he can destroy either the planet in general or just lay waste the surface of the planet, which either way is multi-continental to planet. And Goku, even with Kaioken times 4 Kamehameha, was like, nah, that was not enough to beat him. And then after that beam clash, Wheelo said, alright, now I'm going to use my full power to destroy the planet. So one way or another, weirdly enough, this era of Kaioken Goku is like not even planet level, unironically. He literally had to rely on a spirit bomb just to beat Wheelo. So you can argue maybe he's planet plus because of that, but regardless, just based on raw feats alone, even speed on, ironically, he's faster than Krillin, who can dodge machine gun bullets, whereas Garlic Jr., he tangled with Kami with laser eyes, which maybe gives him relativistic speed. I don't know. But either way, raw power, durability, speed. He literally shot like blasts from like atmosphere all the way down to the ground in like seconds. So yeah, I feel like it's pretty concrete that, yeah, he's just stronger. And also, yeah, immortality hacks is, who cares? Like, yeah, sure, it helps him, but like, he's just gonna get repeated KO'd. So, no. Alright, next was Tree of Might. Where is he? Turles. Okay, so alright. Oh boy, this is gonna get spicy now. This is gonna get spicy. So okay, so there's technically two. There's pre-Tree of Might, Fruit, Amp, Turles, and then there's post. For the sake of simplicity, let's just put him at his peak, because it's still lowballed, but not without any of the other unnecessary, you know, material allowed. Okay. Technically, he does have access to his grade 8 form. Now, granted, as confirmed by other old sources, he loses control when he goes into his 8 form. So, he, unfortunately... Oh, sorry. He unfortunately... Oh, gosh dang it. He unfortunately doesn't get that much stronger until he, you know, gets up there in terms of power. Yeah, hold on a sec. Hold on, let me change. Let me change themes real quick. There you go. There you go. Alright. Alright. Unfortunately, Turles is not that strong. I mean, to be fair, he was kind of written that way intentionally. Like, the fact he had to rely on fruits to be strong. He was a low-class Saiyan. Like, sure, he defeats Goku, but it wasn't out of his own powers. And the other problem is that, according to his lore, not even he can destroy the Tree of Might. So, from all the calcs I was able to deduce, it was basically confirmed that, as Yamcha said, it would take the entire planet to be destroyed just to get rid of a tree. And even Turles' henchman was like, nobody can destroy it. Now, maybe he was only using it to, like, laugh at the enemies or the Z fighters, but that did unironically include Turles. And again, it took Goku relying on a Super Spirit Bomb. I did not include this in my Turles video, but hold on, let me just... But yeah, it did... They did straight up said that Goku created a Super Spirit Bomb, a Super Genki Dama, just to defeat Turles and destroy the tree. So, and he doesn't have much speed feat, so I'm gonna be honest, I think he's gonna be beneath Willow, based on raw feats and statements and all that other jazz. He might be stronger if you allow him the grade 8 form, but that's the most you're gonna able to give him, unfortunately. Alright. I'm not sure what y'all think at the moment. I'm not sure if I said anything heated, but just wait. Alright, who's next? Lord Slug, yeah. I don't know why there's two. I guess this is more distinguishable. That was a little bit too cluttered with the image. Or maybe to separate the prime? I don't know. So, I want to say power-wise, he's better than Willow, because... Okay. Again, going by feet-wise, Goku... Oh, sorry. Slug's... Hold on a second. Clearly, you can tell how professional I am. My bad. Alright. So. Okay. So, Slug's, what's it called? His cruiser was moving so fast, it can literally destroy Earth, and like, literally debris would only exist, according to the simulation, which, why would Koyama include that and not have that be the case? Especially when everyone was prepared to take cover and expect their demise. And the fact that Goku, he didn't take the actual hit head on, but the shockwave would actually correlate very similar to the attack potency of just the kinetic energy of just the cruiser hitting the Earth. So that and the fact that it was base Goku who survived, and Slug and his prime would be even stronger, and then his giant form potentially giving him a boost that can rival a 50 times boost, very likely, if not require a 100 Kaioken times multiplier, immediately surpasses Wilow's planetary scaling, 100%. Because Wilow's attack potency for planet level was at its max. Slug is possibly at that level at his old age. The dub said he was able to rival that level in his old age with Goku, but the original Japanese dub didn't have that dialogue. But nonetheless, I would definitely put Slug above both of them. And I guess technically in lore, King Kai said that Slug is superior to Frieza, quote unquote. So, yeah. Yeah, old Slug, yeah. Sure. Old Slug, I guess, and then Prime Slug. And then Cooler. Next is Cooler. So, immediate S rank from the get-go. There's no argument. All three of them would body all of them. No difficulty. No difficulty. So, bro, these M&Ms are delicious. Okay. Let me explain real quick, because people are not going to have an issue with it, but let me explain for those who disagree. So, unlike the other movies where you really can't prove they even have to be canon to the anime, Cooler straight up shows films or footage of Bardock special. And we literally see Frieza destroy Planet Vegeta, that even at bare minimum requires Dwarf Star level. And absolutely mega hype large star level. But even, like I said, this is downplayed. Low ball scaling. So even at minimum, the fact that Cooler scales to his brother at first form, probably even more with his fourth form, and then he possibly gets a 50 times boost onto his final form because he was able to slap a Kaioken, possibly times 20 Goku, and then survive hits against Super Saiyan Goku without literally dying. And his Supernova, his attack potency, was enough to force Goku down. That after he threw a Kamehameha, he was dropped down to base. And then the fact that his Mecha form is basically him but on steroids, and especially can literally instant transmission Goku out of instant transmission. He would speed blitz and one-shot everyone. All of them at the same time. Literally. So he's literally S tier by default. I don't know who disagrees at the moment, but that's my current take. Next is Android, Android 13 and his super form. So I'm gonna be honest, he's kind of trash. He's really bad in terms of feats, because the best feat that the movie has is speed feat is Goku and Trunks flying all the way to the Arctic and like a few, like not even a minute, and then that's it. Honestly, combat wise, that can be, no dub, but in terms of like frame of reference, that's literally the best speed feat. And then Android 13 himself said his signature attack, the what's it called? The SS Deadly Bomber or something like that? Or I think that's future or 17s. Whatever. His little red attack is enough to destroy half the planet of Earth. Which you could argue is just area of effect instead of actual AP. So if it's just area effect, then the AP wouldn't be heavily negated. But the fact that he was comparing it to that level is kind of pathetic. Because again, Dr. Wheelo at his max can destroy the planet. Whereas Android 13 and base can only destroy half of it with his signature attack. Maybe not going all out, but nonetheless, it's kind of pathetic. And then you have a super form that was able to bully Super Saiyan Goku, that he was already able to rival in just his base form. So you can at least argue maybe he got a 50 times boost to rival Super Saiyan Goku, but even then, that's still kind of pathetic. So I'm gonna be honest, he's unironically rivaling the likes of Lord Slug. Like, I'm just like straight up, because he has the half planetary feat was only against base Goku, but then he can still rival 50 times boost, so he will already be above the planetary Wheelo feat. But he would unironically rival the likes of Slug, who can rival a times 100 Kaioken. Whether he's stronger, that's hard to say, just by raw movie feats alone. But that's basically where I place him. It's really stupid, I know, but movies be like that, alright? I'm sorry. I like the boy Android 13, but his movie was not doing him justice in terms of actual presentation. Next is, I already did, who's that? Oh, Broly. Alright, I'm gonna skip Broly, because y'all know how I am with Broly. So next is actually Bojack. Bojack is just as bad as Android 13. In fact, I argue he's probably worse, in my opinion. Because, like, with Wheelo, he was literally gonna do it on screen. He was gonna destroy a planet, and even then on screen, he destroyed a woodland area. With Slug, Goku on screen survived the shockwave of his cruiser just impacting the atmosphere. And then Android 13 at least stated that it can destroy half a planet. With Bojack, we literally don't know. It's pure speculation what was the extent of his destruction. Because King Kai does says he traveled across each quadrant and was like laying waste or something like that. Something to that extent. But we literally do not know how bad was it. Was he eradicating a planet to non-existence? Was he destroying stars? Was he destroying galaxies? Was he just destroying the civilization of each planet? We literally do not know. We do not know how bad was it. Now, granted, maybe you could argue from a narrative that because he was a threat for each quadrants, maybe you could say that hypes him up a bit. But because we literally have to rely on raw speculation, it's impossible to justify any of it. For all I know, I can literally say he's universal, but I literally cannot prove it. So it's impossible for me to justify how strong he must be from just the movie alone. He literally gets hit by Piccolo, and otherwise he beats up Trunks, he beats up Vegeta, Piccolo, and Gohan. That's it. There's literally nothing else that can be said for him. Nothing else. Hercule did say he was like a dangerous guy to the likes of Cell, but we're not like, come on, are we really gonna rely on Hercule as the authority of like being comparable to Cell? No, I don't think so. I'm gonna be honest, he's probably just as bad as Garlic Jr. I think that would be the unironically like placement. I'm being straight up honest. Like, I really wish I was not joking, but that's how bad it is. Sorry guys, hold on. Oh, there it is. All right. Change of themes. Oh, yeah. I can feel that power. Turles versus Saiyan Saga Vegeta. Oh, sorry. My bad. There you go. Different tab, my bad. There you go. Saiyans, hold on, let me get my thoughts real quick. So, if we're going by raw feats, Vegeta slams really badly. If we're going by like cross scaling, you can definitely give Turles the edge, but he has to have his what's it called? His Tree of Might Amp just to have a chance. Otherwise, he's definitely losing. All right. Anyways, next. Bojack. Yeah, Bojack. Who's next? Bio Broly. Okay, then Janemba. So, sorry guys. Hold on. One more time. My bad. Alright, so Janemba is a very weird character because he's very much hacks based, and it's very hard to justify his AP depending on how you're willing to interpret his feats. Now, nonetheless, Goku does shake a universe. Now, granted, shaking it doesn't really equate to much because, again, as I said in the video, shaking something does not automatically associate to destruction. Because, again, I can shake a bazooka. Doesn't mean I'm stronger or as strong as a bazooka. I can shake a bear, like shake his belly or his tummy. Doesn't mean that I can 1v1 a bear. Or like a tiger. Do you really think me shaking, hugging, moving a tiger means I'm stronger than a tiger? No. And another, like, on a exaggerated example, if you would have put me up against Mike Tyson in his prime, just because I can shake him does not mean I will beat him. Alright? So, Goku shaking a universe is impressive, but that's beyond it. That's literally it. So, nonetheless, he is unironically as strong, if not stronger, than Cooler. From that minimum scaling of shaking a universe, which is multi-solar system in terms of feats. Almost forgot to include that. There you go. Speed-wise, I mean, he's able to keep up with Goku, who can, you know, transcend transmission and stuff, so. And technically can teleport with his other dimension realm, so yeah. And not to mention his other dimensional hexes. He can make copies. Yeah, I say there's more evidence to give it to Janemba, in my opinion. Even if you give Metacooler's hyped up scaling. After that is Hirudegarn. Now, Hirudegarn, I'll admit, I kind of butchered his scaling in my video. I could have overhyped him a bit more, but again, I'm going to be honest, he's really bad. So the reason why I'm going to put him here is because movie only, the only thing he does, he destroys an entire, like, he doesn't even destroy a city. He destroys, like, a city block at best. He supposedly destroys Tapion's planet, or, like, lay a waste across it. But he doesn't actually destroy the entire planet. So, like, he can defeat the Z fighters that are just as featless. Barely bullet level. Like, you get what I'm saying, guys. Like, it's really bad. If we're going just by raw feats, there's literally not much to say for Hirudegarn. Same goes for Chilled, which, well, yeah, I'll probably put him here. I might do a Chilled video. I'm not sure how I'll go about it. Maybe it'll be like a short, but nonetheless, it is canon to Turlet or Bardock's special, which, you know, scales to Frieza more than likely if it took a Super Saiyan multiplier to beat him. So yeah, honorably above the planetary feat characters. And then there's Frieza, which he's not a movie villain, but yeah. I'm only putting him there just for the sake of it. Hachiog, don't worry about him. You'll know once I have my video about him come out. When exactly, I don't know. And then, finally, what y'all have been waiting for, Broly. Alright. It's just not, yeah. I think it's pretty obvious why. Y'all know why. Like, come on, it's Broly. And then, if you needed, like, more... Actually, I can just remove him. If you wanted, like, more of the ideas of what I think about the super villains, well, I think it's pretty obvious, but it's like there and then there, boom. This is like suppressed Beerus, and then yeah, there you go. So there you go. That's basically my placement. In terms of low ball scaling, alright? Do not get mad. Do not get mad. This is just for the low balled tier scaling. Alright? Again, so if you want to, just a summary. D tier is just because they are literally featless. Like, they beat up characters that we have very little understanding of how strong they are from their realities. They destroy walls, pillars, buildings, I guess. Although, unironically, I forgot, Bojack does scale a bit higher because he scales to his henchmen that can destroy, like, a small city block. Like, he made, like, a crater with one of his blasts. So, unironically, he's a bit above Garlic Jr., but yeah. Barely city-level characters, because we literally barely see anything happen in their movie except them destroying arguably a city. Bojack's entire fight happened on an island, and it barely impacted the island they were on. Turles and Wheelo, nigh to planet level, basically, because Wheelo can destroy a planet at its max. Turles was about there. Like, he was about to reach that benchmark, but it's kind of hard to... It's only possible through, like, what's it called? Multiplier scaling or whatever. Multiplier stacking. And then these characters are multi-planetary because at their bare minimum level, they can destroy a planet and then transform and become multiple times stronger on top of that. This is a huge gap, but... Cooler at minimum, Dwarf Star because scaling relative to Frieza, and then Broly with Janemba, arguably multi-solar system at their max, quote unquote, lowballed. And then, obviously, the super characters just being super scaling. So, there you go. Now I'm going to save that tab. And then we'll compare and contrast to my other highball scaling. What's a good theme? Yeah, sure, why not? Heck yeah, get some Pokemon theme right in. Yeah. Alright. We gotta reset it. So now that y'all won't be crying, here is the highball tier scaling. From weakest to strongest based on everything you can ask for. Not the bare minimum interpretation, but the bare maximum. So let's start, again, simple. Oops, what the frick? Oh, okay. So obviously, where is he? Alright. Garlic Jr., first villain. No duh, nobody compared him to. Second is Willow. Obviously, no matter what, Garlic Jr. is above Willow, 100%. The reason why is because, again, even at his absolute max, Willow was stated to destroy planet. Even if we assume Willow can destroy the planet on a subatomic level, the max it jumps him up to was small star plus level, which is like basically nigh star level. But if we use the dead zone scaling and actually say that him creating a dead zone was a literal extra dimensional, like literal 4D reality, then that easily jumps him up to like Universal Plus at the minimum. Especially when he said it was using his power, because like every single, like the anime, the movie, everything was literally saying that he was creating it. The only time it was implied it wasn't the case was Daizenshu and the Anime Adventure Guidebook. The Daizenshu says he was he created a black hole like realm, but then the Anime Adventure Guidebook, of all things, said he opened a portal, which I like to say that's wrong completely, because the anime multiple times says he created it. Kami said he created it. Mr. Popo said he created it. Even Piccolo, the smartest character, quote unquote, himself confirmed he created a dead zone. He got trapped by his own dead zone. Like, the wording is very specific. He did not open anything. He created it with his own key, which was confirmed in the very Daizenshu guidebook bio, that he created it with his own heightened key. And the fact that through an amp of, what's it called? The Makio Star, Makio Planet amp, he literally broke out of the dead zone. So he unironically broke through a fourth dimensional reality. Sort of like Vegeta breaking out of the time chamber. That was at least planetary in size. So, unironically, Garlic Jr. can be not multiversal, but low multiversal, Universal Plus, whatever. Low 4D powers. So, planetary to 4D powers, the gap is insane. Not even close. 100%. Following that, Turles. Where'd he go? So, the only way you can justify Turles being any higher is him scaling relative to Frieza. But the thing is, the movie was made before Koyama even thought of the idea of the Bardock special. And one of the main prominent moments was Frieza killing everyone on planet Vegeta. So to argue that Koyama 100% was comparing Turles objectively to Frieza is kind of, that's kind of, Because only his henchman says that eventually they can surpass the likes of Frieza, but they didn't outright say he can defeat or one-shot Frieza. We don't Turles probably doesn't even know he has transformations. I'm pretty sure even the original anime, it was like a secret that he can transform. And then, also, people like to make the argument that, oh, each new villain is stronger than the last. Well, the fact that it took the likes of Cooler to finally officially surpass Frieza, that it doesn't make sense for Turles or Slug to be stronger than Frieza, but then also weaker at the same time. You can definitely argue they were at least relative to Frieza, but to say they were objectively 100% stronger than Frieza is kind of headcanon and speculation. And then going beyond that, it's definitely Slug and his prime, and unironically probably his old form. Because, again, Kenkai himself said that he's stronger than Frieza at his max power. Not even Super Saiyan, which is likely the same multiplier as the original Super Saiyan in the anime or manga, could beat him. Again, you could argue maybe Koyama wasn't that accurate with scaling to Frieza at the time, but nonetheless, there is more evidence to give it to Slug over Turles, 100%. I'm trying to think of new soundtracks to add, bit by bit. How do y'all like my beats at the moment? Oh, I know. Alrighty. Yeah. Oh, hey, what's up, Wayne? Yeah, I was the one who made the Janemba video. I still feel bad that it had to be that long, but yeah. I just had to be very, very detail-oriented because I don't want to generalize things. I know there was going to be a lot of arguments, so I wanted to justify every single position you could possibly ask for. So anyways, continuing on. So, after Slug, who was it? Cooler again. Yeah, Cooler, again, unironically, Cooler is like one of the strongest. I don't know why or how, but he's just unironically strong. Because if Slug is vaguely stronger than Frieza, Cooler's objectively stronger than Frieza. Because King Kai believed he might be stronger. Even the promotional guidebook or flyer pamphlet was like he might have the power to surpass Frieza. But when he transformed, Goku straight up just says, dang, he's stronger than Frieza. He surpassed him. And then his meta form would just be above it objectively as well. So there's just little to no room to discuss that, yes, he's above him. 100%. After that, who's next? Android 13. Okay, so unironically, he too has the same problems with Willow. He's slightly better than Willow because you could still say, oh, maybe he can destroy or at a subatomic destroy Earth, but then so can he, with just half of it, and then get a 50 times boost on top of that, and they get multiple times stronger with the Super Android 13 form. So yeah, he's just a better Wheelo, basically. There's still not much else you can say, because the guidebooks at best says, oh, well, he has infinite power or infinite energy, but then it's like, well, the androids have infinite energy, but they can still lose to the likes of Cell, Super Vegeta at the time, you know. So that doesn't really help him that much. If you want to say maybe that gives him infinite energy equates to attack potency, maybe. But then that could apply to these other characters. So that's why it's kind of, I don't know about that, Chief. So he doesn't change all that much, but he's there. All right, Bojack once again. So thankfully, with lore and guidebooks, he's above them. Hold on. I got thirsty. So the reason why... Sorry, I want my fortune cookie. So the reason why he's above these guys is because... Okay, so there are two ways to go about it. The one I said in my video was because it depends... It's never specific. It never clarifies. King Kai said the 4 Kaio sealed them away in either a planet or a star. And the binding energy to seal him within a celestial body like that would use energy no matter what. Like, imagine you, a human being trapped or encased on Earth, and the only way to get out is by, like, through raw power. The fact that it took a planet or star to keep him in check kind of tells us just enough about how strong he is. Because otherwise... Because to be fair, we don't know if maybe it is hex-based, maybe it is, but because it's never implied that to be the case, you can more rely on it being on raw power. And as I said in my video, the most dense star ever trying to destroy or undo the GBE that holds it together was like near solar system level, which post a video release, I found out there was the anime manga adaptation that has his bio says he has the power to shake a galaxy. He doesn't have the power to destroy it, but shaking a galaxy is also roughly solar system level and AP, which is very similar to my Janemba saying that Goku can shake a universe. Again, shaking is not that impressive, but shaking a galaxy is still pretty impressive. Not by a long amount, but it's still pretty good. But the fact that shaking a galaxy at solar system level and then being sealed in the most dense star known to man currently is near solar system level. Bojack in base, presumably, would be solar system, and with his full power being arguably at least a 2x boost, would also give him a 2x boost on top of that. So no matter what, Bojack being solar system level makes sense. Hyped up. Anything beyond that is just speculation and headcanon. Because it's hard for me to argue that his full power form is like a 1 million boost, you know? So, yeah. Who is next? Oh, yeah, Janemba. So it depends on how you want to interpret the guidebook lore, because I did talk about this in a previous stream, that the other world is vaguely another universe. So Koyama himself says that either Otherworld is from what I've gathered, either he says the Otherworld has its own flow of time, or it's a flow of time but of a higher dimension than the living universe. So you have the 4D living universe, and then the so-called time in Otherworld is a 5D concept. So that's Koyama's opinion. The guidebook says that Otherworld has no flow of time. When Goku trained Super Saiyan 3, Goku himself said it has no flow of time, or that time doesn't matter. I think other guidebooks also brought that up, like the Super Exciting Guide and whatever. So you can either argue that Otherworld is its own 4D, is a 5D time reality, and then according to that one Daizenshu entry, it is just above dimensions, which is like some weird, stupid outer-versal logic. Now, I still disagree with that, because being above time and space doesn't automatically default to outer. You have to be above infinite. You have to be above the concept of dimensions itself. Surpassing time and space is not. No, that's still 5D at minimum, or whatever. You have to be above that concept. In Otherworld, the way it's being explained is more so on a spiritual level, which makes sense because Otherworld is where heaven, hell, spirit lives. They're moved to. So it more so is implying on a spiritual, like, not a metaphysical, mathematical, dual transition, concept reality, but just a spiritual reality. Plus, as I said in my Janemba video, it could be physically transcended upon the macrocosm. It's physically above the living universe, not conceptually above dimensions and stuff. So. But nonetheless, if you want to say it is a 5D reality, Goku can shake a 5D reality, and then Janemba can beat Goku, and require a fusion multiplier to beat him, would mean that Janemba is by default like some low complex multiversal being automatically. And the fact that Garlic Jr. at max is a 4D AP character, while as Janemba is probably like another dimensional level above him, would automatically place Janemba above him. So unironically, Janemba could like low-key just reality warp hacks his dead zone, or even just break out of his dead zone. Especially when if Garlic Jr. can't break out of his own dead zone without unless he had a Makio Star amp, but Janemba could, kind of tells you what may be the case. Who's next? Hirugan. Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay. So, like I said, I screwed up really badly. So, I'm not sure how valid it is, but the original Toei website did say in his own bio that he was the second strongest. Janemba was the strongest, despite Hirugan being the last villain. Oh, hold on. Time to change background music. I don't know which to go with. Sure. Yeah, why not? Hold on. Now let's go with this one. Yeah. All right. So anyway, sorry. If we're going by Toei Animation's statement, he can be second to none to Janemba. The problem is that Koyama does sort of retcon that statement to the point that's already removed it. However, that only correlates to Janemba. It doesn't necessarily correlate to Hirudegarn. The most it does, it puts him the third. Now, outside of that, it was stated in the... I did not realize how hyped up that thing was, but it was legit stated that the Dragon Fist is the strongest technique in the entire series, period. The fact that the Dragon Fist existed after Fusion Reborn will low-key imply that the Dragon Fist is stronger than the Fusion Dance, than the Patara, than the sword attack of Vegito, the Soul Punisher from Gogeta. Any attack you can possibly think of during that time frame, pre or during anything before the release of Wrath of the Dragon, any techniques existing beforehand is inferior to the Dragon Fist. And the fact that that attack is the strongest technique ever, even the likes of the Super Spare Bomb, would imply that the Dragon Fist is stronger than anything than Janemba. So unironically, through that argumentation, Goku from movie 13 is possibly stronger than his movie 12 counterpart, who can shake the other world. So by that logic, if the fact it took a Soul Punisher to kill Janemba, and Dragon Fist is stronger than the Soul Punisher based on that one guidebook's entry, you can unironically imply that the fact that it took that level of power to defeat Hirudegarn might give him an edge against Janemba. It's really stupid, honestly, but if you really want to hype up this stupid giant bug, you can unironically say that. So, his inferior form, no doubt, is weaker, but his giant form, unironically, could be relative to Janemba. Unironically. Just based on those Dragon Fist entries. And then the fact that Goku is the strongest Saiyan. He has infinite energy. You could unironically make Super Hirudegarn or whatever on par with Janemba. Who's like a literal 5 DP, unironically, so... Yeah, that's basically it. Who's next? Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. Why not, I guess. Is there a way to add a new one? Oh, yeah, there is. Okay. Oh, oops. Whoops. My bad. I only wanted one. Let's go with F. I'm not sure. Uh-huh. Oh, dang it. Okay, never mind. And then, hold on. Y'all guys see what I'm trying to do. And then, unironically, yeah. As y'all are no doubt surprised, Super is just above everything. Suppressed Beerus, sure. Broly. And then, you know, Cell Max. I guess Frieza would technically be around here, I guess. Give or take. Probably be weaker. Broly, as y'all know. Again, this is suppressed Beerus, not full power Beerus, but yeah. Over time, yeah. Yeah, okay, so... Broly. Again, I know y'all want to know my opinions on Broly, but I feel like it's kind of a... like a common sense type of... like, I feel like it's like a common fact. Like, when people say, oh yeah, did you know the sky is blue? Like, everyone knows that. So, no doubt y'all are not surprised. I'm just gonna put him up here somewhere. There's just way too many ways to justify his placement. You could say there's so many ways to prove that he is above all the villains. There's so many ways you can prove that he's not above everyone. You can imply by feats he's not above, you know, everyone like that. There's just so many ways you can go about it. But no matter what, he is unironically, like, at the top. So, not shocking to anyone, but yeah, he would just, by lore, by statements, he's pretty up there. So, I think, oh, and also, yeah, let me clarify something. Yeah, cooler. So, like I said, he's above Frieza, because Frieza can destroy Planet Vegeta, Dwarf Star, minimum, Large Star, max. Nice solar system, honestly. He gets a relative 50-time boost onto his final form. And then he possibly gets even more because he potentially fights not a grade 1, but a grade 4 Goku Super Saiyan. And then he also has the instant transmission that supposedly can exist outside of time, implying he has some level of inaccessible to maybe even immeasurable speed. So, the fact that he was already at minimum Large Star Plus, which is relative to base Bojack, and then get a 50 times boost on top of that with Metaform, he would automatically just stomp Bojack. Like, if you notice, Cooler's unironically like the top 5 strongest. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, like he's literally the top 5 strongest characters compared to all of these. Again, people want to use the argument that, oh, well, Koyama said each new villain is stronger than the past one. But that's just wrong because he contradicts his own logic because Broly exists. Because after Broly, there's Bojack. But then Koyama himself says, no, Broly's the strongest. He never says Bojack is the strongest. And even Toei Animation says Janemba is stronger than Hirudegarn, even though Hirudegarn exists after Janemba. So how can people try to justify Koyama's statement when Koyama himself doesn't justify his own statement, nor does Toei Animation? Even Toriyama unironically say, hey, do you guys remember the Broly who was the strongest? Yeah, well, he's now canon. He never clarifies that to anybody else. Even Cooler, I think in one statement or one interview, he says that Frieza's like the strongest out of his family members. So that would imply that he's stronger than Cooler. Maybe not in his final form, but like in terms of raw potential and just lack of needing to train is above this Cooler. So there's just so many ways to justify that argument that, oh, the next villain is stronger than the previous one. It's just stupid. It's just wrong. So I feel like that's basically my tier list. I feel like that's basically it. And if you want to compare and contrast, obviously tier-wise for the S, it's basically the same. If we're going by D tier, yeah, Garlic Jr. is at the bottom, but then hyped up, he's at the top. Bojack is at the bottom because he has barely any feats, but then he's like more in the middle with lore. And then Hirudegarn is also at the bottom just because of lack of feats, but then with lore and hype type statements, he's actually at the top. Top 5, apparently. Weelo and Turles. Weelo is still at the bottom because he's just pretty much not all that impressive in terms of power. Turles is likewise. He also relies on outside sources just to be strong. but he is relative to, you know, if you allow him scaling to Frieza, then he is above that pay grade, but not by much. Likewise with Android 13, I think he automatically got nerfed. Just because there's barely much evidence to suggest he's all that much stronger than Frieza, unironically, even with statements. Maybe you compare him to, he is stayed as the strongest Android, but then you can just say that's a in-universe thing. Doesn't mean he must be stronger than Android 16 or Cell or whatever. So, yeah. And then Frieza's kind of like the minimum benchmark. And then obviously, as I said, Bojack, Solar System Buster tier. Cooler, also a above Solar System Buster tier with insane speed feats. And then these top 4 characters, they're just at the top if you really hype up the dimension statements. Garlic Jr. being a 4D creator. Janemba scaling to Goku can shake a 5D reality potentially, maybe even higher. Hurudagarn requiring the likes of a Dragon Fist that is stronger than even any technique ever seen before, possibly even Fusion Dance or the Soul Punisher to win. Not to mention being second strongest to Janemba if allowing the Toei Animation website statement. Broly, by Koyama's admission, being the strongest in the original anime and movie villain roster. Yeah, I feel like... I'm trying to see. Like, I think most people's issues when they see my list... Like, people can understand Weelo, who cares? People can understand Frieza with Slug and Turles because they are constantly being compared to one another. Meta Cooler, I mean, Cooler in general people like, so they don't have an issue with that. I think most people's issue is Bojack, Android 13, and then the top heavy hitters. Android 13 simply because of the whole different dimension, parallel worlds thing. Because I understand people want me to compare them to the androids, but then in their own reality, we don't know how strong the androids are. They kill a random Jerome and that's it. They can scale to destroying half a planet, I guess. Like, there's literally nothing used for Android 13 to really hype him up all that high, despite all the guidebook statements and stuff. So it's kind of eh. Bojack, he's comparable to Cell, I guess, feat wise maybe. Although his lore is still vague. We don't even know if he can destroy a galaxy, a cluster of stars or whatever. It's literally only through lore statement he's up at solar system level. Otherwise, he's not even. And then finally, the top heavy hitters, just because of the whole lore implications. Not everyone agrees. The whole dimensions. In my YouTube video, not everyone agrees with the dead zone scaling. Not everyone agrees with the other world dimension interpretation. Not everyone agrees with Hirudegarn's weird Dragon Fist arguments or whatever. Broly, not many people like Koyama's opinions. Not many people like Broly, so... And, you know... Which I understand. Again, this is just from what I've been able to gather throughout my, entire research history. As far as I can tell, this is as far as how I believe the placement would be. Here, the bare minimum low bald interpretation, and then here, the high bald interpretation. It sucks, I get it, but it is what it is. Hachiyaga and the others, I'm sure I can talk about another time. Abonkat, I'm pretty sure, I mean, unironically, they're kind of weak the more I think about it, because they compared to Frieza's inferior form, and Goku as a Super Saiyan one-shots him, so... I guess, sure. There you go. I think that's basically it. So there you go. Now you guys can roast my opinions. Y'all could say I'm just a GT hater. I'm just a GT fanboy. I don't know. Maybe y'all think I'm just a Broly fanboy. I don't want my Broly to die or be second fiddle. But yeah, I think that's basically it. Let's put back some music on. Let's see. Let's see. There you go. Well, yep, I think that's basically it. I think people are just really it's very mixed when it comes to the whole dimensional scaling, which I can understand because with Dragon Ball they never specify how these dimensions stack to one another. I think that's always been my gripe with dimensional scaling in Dragon Ball is like if you want to like an analogy, it's like for example a house. You know, a house has several rooms, right? But then say that it's just a one-story house. So you say that, okay, this one-story house has 3 rooms, and each room is their own universe with their own timelines or time space. Would you argue that each of these rooms be relative to each other, or would they be above one each other? You would assume that each of them are relative to one another. So if room 1 is 4D, you would assume room 2 and room 3 are 4D as well. But then you have other realms that are kind of vague, like the Dead Zone. We don't know if it is a 4D realm. For all we know, it could be a 5D realm, a 6D realm, just because of the vague definition of hyperspace, superspace, etc. The other world being other, like, next dimensional or extra dimensional or some other stupid nonsense like that. Other world being transcendence and stuff. So I think that's most people's issues when it comes to the overall scaling of the movie characters. But that's just how I view it in a nutshell. I personally do not scale the movie characters to the anime just because there's way too many anime inconsistencies to the movies for that to be 100% accurate. And likewise, Koyama himself constantly says that there's way too many inconsistencies when he had to write them, just because he didn't know what was going to happen, because Toriyama was also writing as the movies and anime was being made. So to argue that it's 100% objective, that Janemba must be the strongest, or that Android 13 must be Cell level is kind of vague. Now again, if you guys have your own opinions, that's perfectly fine. It's just that I hate it when people try to come to me and argue like, oh, Numbs, you're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. That source is fake. It's like, how's it fake? It came from an official source. It's not inconsistent based on everything that was stated. Why? And the fact that mostly people's argumentation is confirmation bias is like, oh, well, Bojack must be stronger or as strong as Cell because it must happen during the Cell games. It's like, no, it could just happen in his own timeline. You don't have to assume it must be around the Cell games era. It could just be in its own era where the characters just so happen to be relative to each other in terms of looks. That's why I always just say, like, if you want to say Broly is the weakest, fine, I don't care. That's not really my business. You say whatever you want, that's fine. It's just that If someone is gonna come to me specifically and ask for my opinions and say that my evidence is inaccurate or invalid or outdated, even though all the evidence is more consistent compared to just assuming a lot of things, or by ignoring a lot of things, then that kind of tells you that maybe I'm onto something, rather than, oh, I'm just ignoring evidence, or I'm just a biased Broly fan because how dare I have an opinion. But yeah, that, again, that's just me. That's just me. I might also consider doing a review or like a debunk of my own videos, because there are a lot of things I have missed, or maybe a few things that have changed my opinions, or maybe you like to revise a bit of the things I said, or reworded the things I could have said. But that's gonna be its own stream for sure. Definitely not this one, but yeah, because I'm trying to think. I don't think a lot of my videos, people really had an issue with my takes. Because I understand that on paper, it sounds really stupid, which it is. Like, I hate the fact I do say that, oh, Turles is not actually planet level. Like, I get it. It is stupid, because I understand that presentation-wise, people are used to a specific portrayal of the characters. Like, when I say, oh, when someone brings up, oh, cell level, people are like, oh yeah, that guy that can destroy solar systems. You would think that a character relative to that level would also be solar system level, just because of similar eras. But then when the lack of evidence is provided, it's like, are you sure about that, Chief? Like, I don't know about that. Or, you know, it's like the whole stupid meme of like, oh, can Kaba defeat Super Saiyan 2 Gohan? And then people want to believe that Gohan can beat Kaba just because, oh well, Gohan is cooler though. Or the whole Caulifla versus Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. It's like, yeah, people want Gogeta to win because people think Caulifla is a bad character, or she didn't do anything cool or impressive. So people just want to believe that the cool factor is proof enough that a character is strong, rather than actual evidence that justifies that argument. Yeah, I mean, again, believe what you want to believe. I don't care. Don't let me from stopping you from believing whatever you want to believe. It's just that I hate it, specifically when people come to me and act as if I don't know what I'm talking about. Even though, again, I'm also a nobody who came from nowhere, who just slapped all the evidence I could possibly find and show a lot of consistencies, a lot of specific benchmarks for these characters. And yet people tell me that I'm wrong because I refuse to believe in them in the bare minimum. Like, I'm willing to acknowledge every interpretation possible. Like, that's why I say, like, hey, maybe Garlic Jr. is only planet level, or maybe he is 4D. That's up to you to decide. But to act as if there is no proof for either side is kind of disingenuous. That's why I try my best to be informative, but I also try to at least make these arguments seem valid, or as valid as they can possibly be, without being, well, just cuz, you know? Otherwise, if that was the case, I would just be saying that for basically every character. I would just be saying, oh, well, Janemba's outer because my opinions, though. Well, Dr. Wheelo must be outer because he's a robot, though. Like, it's just kind of, It just doesn't feel right or natural anymore. Oh, man. Yeah. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. I'm just happy I did do the research to begin with, because honestly, I had a lot of different opinions with all these characters. That's why I came in with an empty, like a blank slate. I was like, okay, let me just throw away all my initial understandings of these characters and just look at the actual sources. And I actually learned quite a bit, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't get why people really want to believe that, oh, Turles must be stronger than Frieza. No, Janemba must be stronger than Kid Buu. He must be stronger than Vegeta. It's like, okay, sure, whatever. Whatever floats your boat. It's just, I just never like people telling me to believe in a specific interpretation. Like, why do I need to say, or why do I need to agree with others saying that Broly or is not the strongest, or why do I need to believe that Janemba must be outer? Like, can I not agree in my own interpretations? Like, I get that people have their own mixed opinions with Koyama's overhype statements with Broly, but at the same time, it's hard. You can't be hypocritical about it, alright? Like, you just can't do that, man. Or you shouldn't. It's not really the best way to go about it. Because I get it. Like, Janemba is cool. But so is Broly. But I'm not going to use that as my excuse to hype them up unnecessarily. Like, what? If Dr. Wheelo was my favorite character, do I need to hype him up to outer just so I can justify him being above everyone? Like, no. I don't need to. I kind of refuse. Thank you very much. But hopefully people has at least rough or a better idea as to what I have like to believe in terms of the DBZ movie scaling. Because everyone has already talked to death about the other mainstream characters. People are talking about Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, Cell, Buu, etc. I hope that was a satisfying explanation. I'm very... I think it's going to be very interesting as to where I'm going to go afterward, because I know that people could ask me to be like, hey, can you do a GT scaling video? Can you do a Goku video? But I like to talk about other characters that haven't been talked about, because I could just do a general summary of like a 5-minute video explaining the gist of who they are, but I feel like it's better to give them a full evaluation. Because if I want to, I could have been like that. I could have just said, oh yeah, Turles, yeah, he's stronger than Frieza. Alright, that's the end of the video, and then just call it a day. Or just be like, oh yeah, Turles, he has no feats, and that's the end of the video. Alright, have a good day. Please subscribe, give it a 5-star rating. It's like come on, let's try to be more... Let's try to be more critical thinkers of how strong these characters are. What do you think about the people who thinks that it's stronger than DBS? Okay. Again, I get it. It's more so from the cool factor, because like there are people that still believe Gohan, Super Saiyan 2 Teen Gohan, is stronger than Kaba, and most of the justification is not because of a power factor. It's more so from a cool factor. Because I get it, people don't like Kaba. People like Gohan, Teen Gohan, because he was raw. People are like, oh, well, but he was so cool. He killed the Cell Juniors, and then Cabba's like a soy boy. He's like a trash version. Or like people saying like, oh well, how can Dispo be stronger than a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta? That he's a bad character. His design is garbage. It's like, it's mostly a form of favoritism. People don't really want to believe a character stronger than the other just because of a cool factor. Which, I feel like that's kind of also disingenuous. Like, do you really need to say your favorite character stronger than everyone just so they can feel validated of liking their favorite characters? Like, did you not realize that Goku struggles just to be number one, yet people still like him for what he does? Or Vegeta, despite his losses, he's still liked. Why must I like propagate or make a propaganda that, oh, Turles must be stronger than everyone, Janemba must be stronger than Broly? It's like, I don't care. Nobody cares. Nobody should be forced to care, specifically. So, I'm the same boat with GT characters. Oh, well, GT must be stronger than Super. Why? But, oh, well, it's not that bad. It's not trash. I was like, I don't care. Whatever. Who cares, man? Just like what you like. I don't care. Don't, justify your reason to hate on Super. Like, I don't care. I don't care if GT Goku is weaker than Super Goku. That doesn't mean he's weak by... Like, it doesn't devalue everything he does. Like, there's so many series where, like, maybe the power scaling is insane, but, like, the writing is bad. So, I don't know. I'm still looking forward to see what other characters I can talk about, because I'm trying my best not to talk about the main characters, or like the more go-to characters that people like to talk about. Goku, Cell, Frieza, etc. I want to talk about those characters that people really don't talk about, or surprisingly haven't given a full in-depth evaluation. Because it is really surprising as to what like niche content or niche material is often ignored. So, yeah. Anyways, I think I'm done for today, everyone. I wanted to take a break from my editing. I also wanted to eat. I thought this was a great opportunity to talk to you guys, give you all an update. As I said, I will do other series. I'm still kind of uncertain as to how well it'll be received, if it will even be received, because maybe it's because of the lack of power scaling related, or like heavy focus on power scaling. People will not be that interested, but I like to think that there is potential, not necessarily from just power scaling, but also from a world building, because that's another reason why I like Dragon Ball power scaling. Is not just the power related topics, but also just the world building, like the potential of these characters growing over time. And if I can apply that narrative storytelling in my videos for other video game franchises or anime franchises, that will definitely help people. Because I think that's the beauty, is that if people really want to say, oh, Cabba must be weaker than Gohan, then why not I do those videos where I can justify reasons to prove that there is a way to hype up your favorite character. Like, oh yeah, SpongeBob. Yeah, SpongeBob. He can defeat everyone in Dragon Ball. And then I do an entire 3-hour analysis, It's that type of thing. It's like, alright, let me show you guys how to properly do it. Again, I'm not sure how well people will receive it, but I think people will be welcoming of it. I feel like, considering, because I'm trying to stay, I don't want to say stay away, but I try to separate from focusing too much on shonen, because I get it, shonen's all about the power scaling, or more often than not, have a prominent appeal on power scaling. But I do agree that they should. I think it will be interesting to see if there will be other fan bases where people will appreciate maybe that different perspective that people may have not considered. Because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of material I have researched that people will be surprised to find out. What about people that think Perfect Style at the same level of power as DBZ anime? Yeah, the whole universal scaling. Yeah, I mean, the irony is a higher level universal. So Beerus being beyond universal is not inconsistent. So I think it's just more so people prioritizing too much on the hyped up interpretation. Because a lot of people in general, I'm not going to call out people or whatever, but a lot of people want to believe or like to think things literally. People believe that everything should be taken literal, and some things are meant to be figurative by nature. So that's why people, when shonen series say things like, oh, they can destroy the universe or everything will be destroyed, people will take that literal rather than like critically thinking, okay, what does it mean to actually do that? Like, do they mean over time? Do they mean in one snap? Do they mean through a plan? Like, you know, that type of thing. Like, say if I said I want to undo this world, in Japanese, Sakai can mean society, so I can also be saying I want to undo society. So then you can ask as a reader, okay, what does this character mean in terms of undoing society? Do I plan to destroy the government? Do I plan on changing people's conscience or their perspective? You know, that type of thing. That's why people often, well, not often, but a lot of fans do like to take things literal just for the sake of maybe seeming different or trying to hype up their favorite series, which is fine. But I myself like to be more true to what the author might have been trying to do without going too gung-ho, because otherwise it does in a way ruin the appeal of the series if everyone was universal, and it kind of ruins the whole quality. And plus, that's not really the best way to truly enjoy your story if it's always through a power scaling lens. But again, that's just in my thoughts of the matter. I just hope that because that's another thing, is that I have my opinions on these characters in terms of like writing quality. Like I just said on this stream, like Android 13 power-wise is not that great. His character was not that great, but I do the best I can in my videos to disregard my opinions on the character and just tell you guys straight up how strong he could be based on all the evidence that was presented, and then see from there how else you could possibly hype him up, you know? Because otherwise, if every time it was always up based on my opinion, well then it's hard for me to, or it's hard for people to really take me seriously if it's always just my opinion. It's like, oh, I think Broly is only planet level. People would not take my videos seriously all that time, you know? Oh, what's up, for real? Yeah, I'll be heading out in a bit. Yeah. I feel like in the future videos I'll be posting, I feel like in the future, in my future content, people will definitely be surprised by what I was able to find, and people will definitely understand. You should play something to entertain your viewers. Just a suggestion. I mean, yeah, I don't mind you guys. It's just that as long as there's a song, it's not copyrighted, but yeah. Yeah, I can change real quick. Yeah, I mean, especially this video was, or this live stream was gonna be chill anyways. I just want to take a break from doing my editing, but yeah. Ugh. I think, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do next time. I might do a let's play, like a live stream let's play, but I'm not entirely sure. I think one thing, it's gonna be kind of interesting how I'm gonna go about after my 2 upcoming videos, because I'm definitely gonna be doing things at a change of pace. Maybe, who knows, maybe I'll get more people's engagements or people's thoughts on the matter, because I like to also use these videos as a way to evaluate my interests, because I used to have a very narrow opinion on Dragon Ball, but re-evaluating these movie characters was really eye-opening in terms of just presentation and potential for the series. So I'm hoping I could probably do the same thing for other series, because, you know, there's gonna be people who will hate on Dragon Ball and stuff, which obviously if they don't want to change their opinions, that's fine, that's their own deal, but I hope that, you know, my videos can be used as a way for people to be like, oh, you know, that's cool. Actually, you know what? That would also be pretty fun if I can possibly get someone else on stream with me. I'm sure that will be possible, though. Who knows? Or maybe I could also just appear in their stream as well. I don't know. Would you ever consider doing how strong evaluations on different anime characters outside of it? Oh yeah, 100%. It's more so just the case of how long will it take to do it. Because I feel bad just for y'all having to wait like months just for one video related to Dragon Ball. So I don't want it to be the same thing for other series. Now, granted, I can understand I could do like chapters, like, for example, Clyde, when he does his Bleach videos, like on Ichigo, rather than doing a whole like 3-5 hour video of Ichigo from chapter 1 to end of series, he instead talks about solely a specific arc of Ichigo. So maybe I can do the same for other series, but there are times where I feel like it does help out to just do a full like rundown of the entire storyline of a character. But it also just depends on what the series is, because there's gonna be a lot of series that just is gonna continue on for the rest of eternity, or there's just not much material to really work with that will be engaging. But who knows? But yeah, I think that's basically it, everybody. I'm heading out. I'm starting to feel that. I'm starting to feel that motivation back at it again. I want to go back to grinding that video because, boy, I'm hoping y'all are going to enjoy it. I really am hoping you guys are going to have fun with it. Or not, I don't know. But I know specifically that once I'm done with this video, I want to like just immediately start the next one because people have been really asking for it. And at first I wasn't kind of like on it, but then after researching, I think people will definitely get a kick out of it, especially since nobody's talked about it. So I feel like y'all are definitely going to enjoy these 2 upcoming videos, hopefully. And I am definitely going to be interested to see what I'm going to do after these 2 videos, because I feel like after those 2 videos, it's going to be a interesting cross-section for my channel. But because, again, I want to explore more possibilities outside of Dragon Ball, I hope that people will, you know, will definitely not see me as just the Dragon Ball guy, you know. Because like everybody else has talked about Bleach, My Hero, JJK, especially today and these days. JJK has been really on a hype train. I know I can't really say much because I haven't gotten into the series, and even if I were, I wouldn't be able to say anything new. But maybe me giving my own voice to other series that isn't talked about will definitely change things up a bit. Maybe at least separate myself from the crowd, but we'll just have to wait and see. But yep, I think that's it. Thank you, everybody. Look forward to the upcoming videos. I hope you'll have fun with it. Hope it'll satisfy y'all for the time being. Hope you have a great day for the rest of the remaining day, or have a good night wherever you are. See you guys later, and take care. Bye-bye.